Hello everybody, how you all doing today? I've got an interview here of Carol McGiffin on Talk Radio, and the interview, I don't know his name, I've forgotten it to be really honest, and it's a 10-minute interview. I would only be playing 5 minutes of it, as I think this is probably the best 5 minutes of any interview I've ever seen, especially the end part as well. That I will be playing for you, not the very end of the interview, but just halfway, the fifth minute of it, which is where I'm going to be stopping at. It's absolutely brilliant, the line that Carol says here, and she's a former loose woman. So you would expect it to be, the opposite of what she's talking about right now, of her beliefs, but she really isn't. Have a listen to this. I will be analysing this and breaking it down, just so to see how my opinion on it, because it's important that we all stick together here. So let's get to it.
Even in the pages of OK Magazine, you were able to bring in some of your scepticism about this current madness, Carol.
Yeah, well,
It is very mad indeed, I gotta say.
it's everywhere, isn't it? It is all consuming for me, Dan, actually, because
Yep.
it's it's all encompassing. Because every morning when you wake up, I put the radio on. I want to listen to Julia Hartley Brewer, obviously,
Good
and
work.
it's all you hear about the virus, and the thing is that the more I listen to different stations as well, not very often, I do
I hope
kind of
not.
hear. No, I hear people kind of. I was thinking I could hear more dissent, but actually, I'm not hearing more dissent. I'm kind of hearing more people thinking, yeah, well, we have to do this because of this, and we have to stop going to the pub because the kids have gone back to school, and I'm happy to do that. And I just think, how can we possibly get back to normal if people keep just buying into what the government is telling us what to do? I don't think the government can force people to do anything, but they're trying to do it, aren't they? They're trying to do a very good job of forcing people to do things, but people are just bowing down and taking it. I don't understand it.
Well, Nicola Sturgeon this
Well, they are bowing down. What can we say about that? I mean, it feels like the world has ended already. It's like we're all machines. It's just ridiculous. It's almost like God. People bow down to God, and they show their weakness to God. That's degrading.
week, without any evidence of any increase in deaths, started talking about people returning to intensive care. And I just thought, Nicola, the last thing you need to do is terrify Scots anymore, because you've been doing a fantastic job of that for the past 6 months. They're totally scared stiff. What you
Yeah.
actually need to be doing is telling people we're beating this thing. The infection rates are staying stable, but the death rates are going totally down.
Choose Free Now, the only ride-hailing app with both private hire vehicles and black cabs.
But even the infection rates, Dan, are dubious, aren't they? I mean,
Well, we're testing
why.
so much. That's the thing.
Exactly. And there are a lot of questions surrounding those tests as well.
Notice how the mainstream media never ever talk about the other infections and diseases. Notice that. Just have that in your mind right now. They're only addressing this dreaded and deadly virus.
About what they actually pick up, and that is quite more viruses than just the COVID, whatever it is, the SARS-CoV-2, which is what they should be looking for. And they're still not sure about it. So I just think, well, okay, you've got loads more cases. Nobody seems to be getting very sick over it anymore. The hospital admissions are not going up. Deaths are certainly not going up. And people are still scared to come outside of their front doors. And Nicola Sturgeon has introduced a bit of a mini kind of lockdown, hasn't she, in Glasgow,
Yeah.
stopping people from visiting their families and people who don't live in their houses again. Yet they can still go to the pub, they can still travel everywhere. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. It's all
I like her already. I like what she's saying. And you know what? That is absolutely spot on. Like, for real, like, come on, man. Nothing ever makes sense with what the government says, right? They're saying, oh, yeah, you have to stay home. And yet, we can still go anywhere we want. That doesn't make no sense to us. And they talk about this lockdown. It's all fear-mongering, if you ask me. It's actually making my blood boil. And people love this. People absolutely love just getting controlled like this. It's never done anything to help them, and and the economy is going down even more. The jobs are becoming less. They mentioned that here in the last few minutes of this interview. And what Carol was saying is spot on. She's speaking the truth, and she's a former loose woman, for crying out loud. To me, she's acting like a real journalist. That's what I'm saying right now. Maybe she is right now. Who knows? But this is what I've been trying to tell people. And nobody seems to listen. They think it's the government's just not their goodness of their own heart. It's not that whatsoever. People need to understand this.
Almost like, and I said this to Kevin O'Sullivan on Monday.
I heard
it's
it was
like,
brilliant.
Well, it is. It's like they're really enjoying the power that they've got, and they're seeing how far they can push it, just to see what they can make people do.
The reason why they're enjoying it, Carol, is because they believe that they're being kept safe. That is the main reason. It's like comfort. Like, whenever a mainstream media talks about something serious and they say, don't worry, we're here to keep you safe, with a serious tone, of course it's going to get everybody thinking, oh wow, this is comforting. We must do whatever they say because they're keeping us safe. They're the real journalists here. They are really showing us more news. But in reality, they're doing the complete opposite and getting you controlled. And which is why the news is so biased. They will never go against what they say. They will never say that they're hypocrites. Of course not, because they always are. They always have been. So I've been trying to tell people. And I've shown friends these type of videos before. They just disregarded some of them. They never think twice.
But people are doing it. That's the strange thing.
Well, Carol, you would be shocked by some of the madness that I've encountered trying to have a social life over the past week, right? So, firstly, I went to a club last night, and so not a club, obviously, these days, but a bar. They have now instigated a traffic light system in the actual pub where you have to wait at doors until the traffic light goes green. It was insane. And then in Scheming Sturgeon, Scotland, where I was at the...
You know, the funny thing is, there used to be a time at Tesco here where I used to see people queuing up 2 meters. It was almost like we were back at school. It's like they were queuing up to go to the headmaster's office. That is how pathetic it was. It was ridiculous, like as if a virus has a certain amount of distance to travel. Viruses travel anywhere and everywhere. Even pollution can be quite deadly, but we still inhale everything that's bad. We can't help it. Like masks, they never helped. Even if you wear a mask, you're still going to get fumes coming in and bad bacteria coming. You're still inhaling. There's still space where it can go through your mask. It's not going to help. It's just, if you ask me, it's doing the complete opposite. Because we need to breathe air to help our lungs. People just don't seem to know this at all. And it was just, it was pointless waiting outside 2 meters. You know, they might as well just let us all in.
Weekend, she's banned music. So I ended up in this famous club, CC Blooms, at about 11 o'clock at night. It's usually packed with people. Well, no one's there, are they? Because there's no music. There were about 4 people and I left after 1 drink. And so many of these regulations just don't seem to make any sense. Why can you not play music in Scotland? It's just insane.
I don't understand the music thing, but what worries me is the damage that it's doing to these businesses. And it really is, because you're right. People just... What's the point in going to these places? What's the point in going out? What's the point even of going shopping? Because you go shopping, you're just walking around the shop like a zombie with a mask on. You can't touch anything. You can't try anything on. You know, how are you going to even buy anything? You just have to pick it up and buy it and then take it home, and then they take it back. They quarantine it for... I mean, it's total madness. And I think... You know, people, I don't encourage disobedience and law breaking, but I do think it's time for people to start seriously using common sense and thinking, this doesn't make any sense, therefore I'm going to ignore it. I mean, what are they going to do? If everybody thought that and did it, what would happen? Probably nothing. No. But people do still think that they're going to walk around the street and someone's going to touch them, they're going to drop dead.
See, that is the best line I've ever heard in any interview. That is the best line. You know, that's so true as well. People become so self-conscious of even being touched or stared at that they think they're going to die. And people wonder why I laugh and take it as a joke. This whole thing is ridiculous. This whole thing is a massive joke. We never needed a lockdown to begin with. We never needed to wear masks or gloves because it's unnecessary. It's absolutely ridiculous. Where was those people, those mask and glove wearers, when there was people dying of cancer and TB? TB is one of the most contagious illnesses and diseases out there that can kill people. It's killed 1.5 million people in 2018. Cancer killed nearly 10 million people in 2018. Nobody did anything for that. I just find it quite shocking and quite ridiculous that we have to take this virus like it's got like a 99% fatality rate when that's a survival rate. And I've searched this up. I've told people this many times and they say, well, my mom or dad or uncle, whatever, died of COVID and all that. Well, yeah, I don't doubt that maybe the coronavirus is real, but is it really as fatal as people make it out to be? I keep saying before, believe in what you want. You know, you can take this interview as whatever you like, but this is a person that's awake, that's speaking from a logical point of view. And there's a lot of smart people out there, but they still wear their masks. I get it's part of the law, but sometimes you do have to break the law in order to help yourself in that scenario. I don't mean to kill people, I don't mean to do that. But I just mean to stand for what you believe in. Take a stand. Like, people are losing their jobs over this. It's absolutely pathetic. And people just bow down to it and they just love it. It annoys me. It's not me getting triggered. I'm speaking passionately about this. Search it up. This virus has got a 0.0004% fatality rate. That's nothing. You know, and these people treat governments like they're gods. I don't. I just see them as like normal human beings with an evil heart and bad intentions. If you people don't wake up, this will continue. And now they're talking about getting the vaccine, and now I even heard they're going to be banning people to go on flights to other countries. How ridiculous is this becoming? We're going to end up being trapped in our own home. What's next? Police officers patrolling each street and road to make sure people are doing as they are told? God, what is happening to this world? This interview sums up. This interview is one of the best interviews I've ever had, especially what she said there. She's making this whole virus thing look stupid and ridiculous. And I didn't know what else to say. I've searched all this up too. Do your own research. I think that's it for this today, guys. I will put this video in the link in the description below. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Don't forget to like if you want to like, because not everybody likes everything. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more of my content. Hit the bell if you want to get notifications of my content. And share it with everybody that you know. Everybody. It's important that other people know my views and opinions on this. I'm not afraid to reveal it. I'll see you guys in the next video.